This is the first time I'm shooting a Glock 17 Gen 4. I do own a Gen 5, and I've actually shot a Gen 3 many, many, many years ago. But this is actually the first time I'm shooting a Gen 4. And I'll tell you the truth. I mean, my thoughts is that it really doesn't have that big of a difference. I mean, the trigger is a bit heavier or tighter. But actually, this is actually a brand new gun. My friend actually bought it a little while ago, but he doesn't really shoot. He doesn't really do much range shooting, so he actually brought this gun for the first time to shoot it, and I've got a chance to try it out myself. And so obviously my own Glock, I've had like probably 2,000 rounds through it. So the trigger obviously is more broken in than this one. So it is a little bit heavier, I would say, in terms of feel. But other than that, I don't really sense too big of a difference. But from looking at the results, actually, I I was able to really get some really tight groups within 10 meters from it. I don't think I've ever did that like consecutively with my own Gen 5. I'm not sure if it's the differences on the gun, because technically the Gen 5 have the marksman barrel, so it should actually be more accurate. Or maybe it's just my lucky day that day with the Gen 4. Not too sure on that part. But in terms of the further distance at 25 meter, but yeah, I didn't really did too well on that. But given that I haven't shot, I mean, I'm not sure if that big of a difference. Maybe because with my own Gen 5, I would be able to get a little bit better results at 25 meter. So for this time around, with the Gen 4 is actually not that great of a shot group. Ergonomics of the Gen 4. Some people say with the finger groove is not that comfortable, but I think it really relates to your own, I guess, hand size perhaps. I have a more of a smaller hand, so it didn't really affect me too much. I understand from some other people on YouTube and whatnot. I think mostly people that really don't like the finger grooves on the Gen 4 are people with large hands. So yeah, so for me with a smaller hands, it really doesn't really make that big of a difference. Um, and yeah, and it's more about the trigger. The trigger it's a bit heavier, so I'm not sure if that's the case for all Gen 4 compared to Gen 5, because um, I think it might probably be because it's a newer. I mean, it is the first time shooting it on the of this Gen 4 pistol, so maybe that's the difference. And also, in terms of like the better trigger on the Gen 5, I really don't sense the difference. I mean, it's a little bit heavier, but I don't see the Gen 5 having a like a better trigger than this Gen 4. So, but that's just my feel about it. I've put about 100 rounds through it that day. So I haven't really shot that much on of the Gen 4, and I didn't have my own Gen 5 to compare side by side. But overall, I think it's very, very, very similar. The sight, this Gen 4 is comes with the standard plastic sight. I have the night sight on my Gen 5, but I don't see that big of an improvement on my own than this standard fixed plastic sights. Let's say I think if you have the Ameriglow, or if you upgrade the sights to something more like a fiber optics or something much better, perhaps there could be a difference. But between my own Gen 5 night sights versus the factory Glock plastic sights, I don't really see, like, I don't really feel that big of a difference. So would I get a Gen 4? Definitely, I don't think there's a need for it if you already own a Gen 5. I think the Gen 4 for various reasons. Some people who may have shot the Gen 4 a lot, maybe they prefer that over the Gen 5. I don't know about that. In terms of fit and finish, I think it's pretty much identical. Like, I mean, obviously it's a different, there's some differences from the appearance and exterior and the finishes. I think the newer Gen 5 have the NDLC or whatever coating, so it technically is actually better, should be better than the Gen 4. But I mean, up in Canada, we just take the pistol to the gun range to shoot, and it's placed within the protective box 99% of the time anyway, other than when you do bring it to the range and then you put it on the mat and then you hold it and you shoot it. So the finishes of a gun, I don't think really have much impact. I mean, yeah, if it's a better finish gun, yeah, obviously it's better, but we don't we cannot, it's illegal to like do like a self-defense carry, so there's not gonna have any impact on like holster wear. Well, actually, if you do shoot competition with it with a Glock, yeah, the holster, you'll be holstering it, and then yeah, that might have some effect on the finishes, and you probably want a gun with better coating and things like that. But other than that, if it's just a regular range sports shooter, yeah, it's just going to be in the box and to the range, so not big deal in terms of the finishes. I would say for people that haven't bought and are deciding whether to get the Gen 4 or the Gen 5, I would say just try it out in terms of the grip. The grip is actually slightly different. I find the Gen 5 is slightly, but very, very slightly, a little bit smaller than the Gen 4. So with my smaller hand, I actually would probably be better for me anyway, and to get the Gen 5. The trigger, I don't really feel too big of a difference, but for some people maybe there is a difference. So yeah, try out the trigger. The sights, I think it's probably going to be the same. If you get the fixed sight, plastic sights for the Gen 4, Gen 5, it's going to be the same thing. I think length, everything, the sight radius is the same, so I'm not sure if there's going to be much difference there. And the Gen 4 would be cheaper, slightly cheaper. So yeah, but I would say yeah, go with the feel of it. But I think there's not much of a difference at all, like for me anyway, shooting the Gen 4. So that's my thoughts on the Gen 4 Glock, shooting it for the first time, and hope you all like the video. Thank you.